My name is Nick Cosgrove, and I'm here with my friend Pilar Lehman, and I'd like to welcome her to Let's Talk. And I'd like her to start off by introducing herself and telling everyone what she does for a living.
Hi guys. Well, thank you. First of all, thank you, Nikki, for having me. I've known this guy for a long time. I don't even want to say how many years.
At least 15 years we go back.
At least, right? I think we're
At
one of
least.
the last few personal trainers from like a long time ago that's still doing the business.
You know what was funny? I was actually talking to a mutual friend of ours the other day, Mike. You remember Mike Nooks? Yeah. And I was saying, Pilar is the only person I know that is still a trainer. That when I first started training, she is still a personal trainer. There's no other trainers I know that when you and I first started back training that are still in this industry. They've either gone on to real estate or restaurants, but nobody else I know except for you still a trainer.
It's been a while. I think that speaks about passion and business ethic, and we just make it work, and we just kind of adapt with how things and how life changes as we come along, right?
And how old we really are.
Yes,
We've been doing this a long time.
I think we started when it was Pantheon, the gym that we
Correct.
started training at, right?
Yes.
Pantheon has come and gone.
Yeah.
And I now have two kids.
You've had a lot of changes.
40s, and that's not something a lot of people is like, oh, how old are you? It's like, I'm in my 40s, and I've never thought that was gonna, when we first started training, the 40s were like so far away. I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do when I'm 40? And now it's like, I love it.
You love it.
I'm in my 40s, and I'm okay with that.
Okay, well, let's backtrack here. So what got you into personal training, first of all?
Okay, so I moved from Colombia about 20 years ago.
Okay.
And when I first started, I used to always be involved with fitness at school. I played volleyball, soccer, basketball. I was a cheerleader. So I've always been physically active, and fitness and, physical activity has always been a part of my life. But when I first moved here, I used to be a chef. I did my culinary arts and pastry and hotel management at Dubrul.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I did about 2 to 3 years. So
very
I got
cool.
my certifications and everything. And I love food.
Right.
I love a good pastry. I love a good pasta with a good wine. So going through pastry chef training and all the hotel management, I was overeating pretty much. And I never really, that's kind of what it got me into training. And then back in the day, I always wanted to do a fitness competition. That was something that it was on my mind. So I said, you know what? I started working a fitness role at Howe and Davy.
And just so those that don't know, Fitness Road is a local chain in Vancouver, British Columbia.
Yes, and which is also come and gone.
Yes.
And then that's when 2015, I did my first fitness competition. It was the Sandra Wickham Fall Classic.
I think you mean 2005.
2005, sorry.
Yes, yeah.
2005, right. And I placed second. I was really, really happy. And then after that, I continued doing bodybuilding and fitness competitions, but it was something that I didn't think it was gonna continue because it's a hard sport. And I'm one of those people that I don't call it a sport because it's not something that you can maintain as a lifestyle and as a, how your body and what you, and more than anybody, what you put your body through.
Yes.
And it was great. It was really mentally challenging, and I pushed myself to that level. But then I was thinking that it was not something maintainable for me. And that's when I started. I got my personal training certificate. And from there, I also got my pre and postnatal certifications. And for a while, I also trained pre and postnatal women. And overall, it's always been to help people feel good. And throughout the years, fitness, my husband is fairly active. He exercises well. We always give this to our kids. Like right now in these times, we're even more encouraging to be active, keep moving, right?
Sure.
For me, exercise is mental health for once. I lost my mom. She was 54 in 2012. And that was something that I always brought to myself, that she was never a very active person. Her nutrition was never something that she cared about per se. So that also brought into my head, like, you know what, any type of exercise, every single time that I exercise and my heart goes pumping and I lift weights, it adds days and seconds how I see it.
Okay.
And I want to help other people feel this good. So that's kind of everything got started for me.
Right. It's a little extra motivation for you. When you stopped competing, was it difficult to let go of that?
I think I stopped competing because it really screwed up in my head.
Okay.
Not seeing myself so ripped. So
Right.
up in the stage, and you know it.
Sure.
You're so ripped, you're looking great, but that visual and how you look at that moment, you can continue for months and days after that. You know, you start getting the water back and you start eating normal food and everything changes. And that's when I started having a little bit of issues with like diets going back. So I tried this diet, I tried this other diet. And that was something also that brought me to my Smart Meals program that I have. And just to show people that you can still have delicious meals that are balanced for you and your family. And I don't believe in diets. I believe in just fueling your body the right way for the right job.
Okay. Well, let's go more into that. You just mentioned your Smart Meals plan. So give me more information about that.
So what I did is that after all these years bringing me back to competing and stuff, I've always wanted to be skinny. And that's something that I've had to get out of my head after having kids. I'm 5'2", as you know, I'm short. With both of my pregnancies, I gained about 40 pounds with both of my kids. Okay. My first pregnancy, I ate what I wanted. I gained like 20 pounds in the first trimester. I was a whale. I was big. And, you know, they say eat for two. I was eating for two without.
You thought you were having twins.
I had no problem with that, right?
Right.
Then I also had gestational diabetes with my first son.
Okay.
So that was a little bit hard for me to have to control, but with good diet, well, let's call it nutrition and exercise, I didn't have to go insulin. He was a perfect, healthy boy born. And then for my second pregnancy, I was more like, I'm afraid of eating because I'm going to gain so much weight, right?
Right.
And it's really funny how your body works, that with my second pregnancy, I wasn't able to exercise as much because I was sick most of the time and I had to take care of my older son, but I ate better. And, you know, instead of having crackers when I got nauseous, I had carrots. Funny enough, I gained exactly the same weight to the date that they were born. And they were pretty much the same weeks when they were born.
Okay.
So my body just liked to gain the weight. So after having my kids, it was a really ups and down of gaining the weight up and down. That's when I started doing my, you know, Smart Meals program. And it's finding the way, the person that is going to be sitting on the couch, not exercising 3-5 days a week, should not be eating exactly the same amount of nutrients and macronutrients than an athlete, for example, who's training 7 hours a week and then, you know, is a male person and is moving around. So we need to, what I help my clients is to figure out what you need for your lifestyle, your activity level, if there's any allergies, if there's any things that affect your stomach in different ways. So I come up with what they really need and people are getting great results.
Wow. When you design these plans, do you take into consideration, like, do you work with anyone, for example, with diabetes or who might have Crohn's, colitis, IBS? What type of clients do you work with?
Absolutely. Most of the clients that I have worked with has been men who want to lose the fat, gain the muscle and lean out, right?
Right.
At the same time, you know, keeping their muscle and volume. And a lot of my clients are moms who they're really busy.
Right.
What I have found also, you know, after I became a mom is that when you go out and you have activities with the kids and you're picking up the kids at 3:00 and then taking them at 3:30 and then at 4:30, by the time you come home, you have to have your meal prep and your meal planning. So I have also designed systems that are bulletproof for moms.
Right.
That yes, you're going to spend some time on the weekends doing some meal prep, and it's all about a learning process, and it's going to take some time and dedication. But at the end of the program, you got this, and you're going to come home, pull out a meal, whatever that meal might be, of homemade chicken fingers for the kids or something for you and your husband, that you're going to come home, everything's going to be ready. You're not going to be feeding your kids, drive through McDonald's. Yes,
Sure.
but also your kids and the family nutrition meals, busy day-to-day lives, right?
Right. So not only are your plans sustainable, but they're also practical, right? An interesting thing I have is I train a lot of moms as well. And one of the things they always say to me is, I don't have the time to cook for myself and for my kids. I've got to ask you, because you've got 2 kids and two boys who are probably pretty picky eaters. How do you manage to run a personal training company and prep your food and their food at the same time?
Well, I'm very lucky. My kids are, from a very young age, we always give them what we ate.
Okay.
So if we're making, my husband loves lamb. If he's making a roast lamb, that's what they're eating. If I'm making a lentil kale soup, there's a fight for them to eat it, which
Sure.
reminds me of yesterday. That's what we had for lunch, and there was fighting, there was tears, but we're teaching our kids that there's everyday food and there's sometime foods.
Okay.
There's the everyday food that you're going to eat, and it's going to help you to build muscles and be strong and all these things. And there's the sometimes food, which is the chocolate, the M&Ms, or whatever, the treats, right?
Right.
So I've been very, very lucky. But what I usually do is I make the time, and that's what a lot of people struggle with, is when do you make the time? So at the beginning, I used to put the kids to sleep, finish my clients, and I will stay up at night and I'll do my prep, 2 to 3 hours, depending on what I was making. And then I started becoming more efficient and coming up with systems that work. So I divide things as a step 1 of prepping and a step 2 of prepping. And on Wednesdays, I do the overnight oats, which it takes me, 10 minutes, 15 minutes to. Sure. Then on Saturdays, I do all the snacks for the week.
Right.
And then maybe on Sundays, when the kids go to sleep, or maybe they help me, or if my husband is home, we all do it together. So it's a matter of finding a system that works for your family that is bulletproof. Right. And that's why my Smart Meals programs is geared to families, to give them that time that you can actually come home, help your kids with their homework, or go outside and play in the park for half an hour for dinner, and then just have a nice dinner and then just enjoy your evening, versus having to just be scrambling around.
Sure. And, that's why I have so much respect and admiration for working moms and dads who are somehow able to stay on track with their meal planning and their meal preps. Because you take me, for example, and, I don't have any kids. So when I prep all my food, I can do that at 2:00 in the morning if I want to. I can do it whenever I want. I have that flexibility and that luxury to do that. When I have someone who says, hey, look, I got 3 or 4 kids running around the house, I can't do what you do. It's very hard for me to sit there and say, well, you should just make the time. So when they hear someone like you who is actually making the time and running just as busy as a business as I'm doing, you're actually probably doing more work than I'm doing, both at the business and off the business. It's very inspirational for people to hear.
It's not easy, but like I said, you have to come up with what works and the systems that work, and you have to make the time. When the days, for example, that I leave the house, I'm out the door, I have to pick up the kids at 1. Oh, shoot, I forgot my lunch. What am I going to do? No, I always have smoothies or my snacks or protein shakes or something that has been pre-made, freezer, take it out in the morning. And I'm always prepared. So you're not ever caught with your pants down. You always have your food ready to go. Smart. So you don't have those kind of weak moments. But listen, right. I'm all about balance. I'm the first person, like tonight we're going to have burgers and it's going to be in the barbecue and I'm going to have a glass of wine. And you know what I mean? I got to live a little, and I'm not too strict when it comes to food, because when I create my meals, I know that what my macros are, which I know a lot of people don't know what macros are. It's not about calories, but about where your macros are coming, where are your nutrients coming, how you feel eating your body, right?
Your micronutrients.
So I know what I'm eating.
Right.
And all taken care of because I put the time before to be here.
Well, that leads me to my next question, though, because I follow you on Instagram, and I know that you've actually readapted your type of training that you do in the gym now. When I first started work, when you and I first met, you were kind of following almost like a bodybuilding plan, and that's transitioned into something else. So tell people what type of training you do now.
So about 2 years ago, I want to say 2017, I was like a marathon. I was still training pretty hard, bodybuilding style. Oh, can you hear me there?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Bodybuilding style until I had a back injury.
Okay.
So that back injury put me out for a while. And believe it or not, I was overtraining.
Okay.
Like I was teaching 4 spinning classes a week. I was running another 4 days a week. I was going to the gym another 3-4 days a week. I was teaching bar classes. So I was actually doing about 20 hours, excuse me, of actual training at the time when I got my back injury. So I had to find something that I love running because it will take me away from my children and it was my time. Yeah. So that's when I started doing CrossFit. And that's when I started to see what my body was able to do. And I can lift more than I ever have when I was super fit. Okay. Now I'm even fitter. Right. So it's all about adapting what your body needs and what your goals are, right?
Right. And do you find, because there's a stigma with CrossFit that a lot of people say, oh, you can get injured. Now, I personally don't actually believe that. If you learn the proper techniques and form, what do you think, where do you think that stigma came from, that CrossFit's dangerous?
CrossFit is not dangerous.
Okay.
We are dangerous.
Okay.
So the sport is not a dangerous sport. Right. We're dangerous and we do stupid things.
Sure.
Right? So if you go to the gym and you start doing, I don't know, let's see a deadlift, you got to know your limitations. Right. And you got to have the proper technique. And, I need to show this video to my coach because she says, I'm a very strong person, but my technique sucks. Like, she's like, oh my God, like imagine if you were able to have a better technique, you'll be able to lift even heavier. Right?
Okay.
It all comes down to technique. When I started doing CrossFit, I already had bad habits. So it's reteaching myself how to do things and learning new tricks and being able to get the mechanics of how things work. Because as a personal trainer, we always work very front side, left side, very.
Deep into your planes of motion. I get it. Yes.
Motion, right?
Sure.
With CrossFit, it's like, my husband says to me, he's like, oh, we're doing so much squats and ups and down and side. And he's like, you're using way more muscles to really be more efficient, right?
Sure, yeah.
And that's how I've kind of geared my training with my own clients.
Right.
I don't tell them that they're doing CrossFit because they'll be like, but they're doing CrossFit movements.
I get it.
Right? So technique is going to save you some really, really good injury. Stay away from good injuries.
You mentioned your clients, and you're very much like me. I mean, you and I trained alongside each other for at least a good 7-8 years on the gym floor. And I've never seen any other trainer besides myself that has been able to have such a high retention rate of the same clients coming in, day out, for not 1, not 2, but 5-6 years. What's your secret for that? How do you manage to not only build a large clientele base, but actually be able to sustain that clientele base?
I think it all comes on to what my clients' needs are and kind of guide them a little bit. I always tell people that you got to have a starting point and you got to have a goal. And my goal as a trainer is to give you the tools to get from A to B, right? So when you have somebody who's starting with you, they were super out of shape, bad form, they were not able to do many things, and you slowly guide them to point B, and that's what they wanted to do, they're going to want more. We got to have more challenges. So nowadays, with this situation, you look online and there's like hundreds and hundreds of workouts and tons of upper body, lower body, squats, push-ups and stuff, which is great, which is fantastic because it's getting people out there. And a lot of people are going to come out of this at a better shape, in better shape than they were before, because we have the time, people.
Yes, exactly.
That we didn't have before. But what's the injury level? are you doing too many squats or are you doing too many lunges and you're neglecting your upper body, lower body, upper traps, and things like that? So I always like to have a goal, have an end process. So if that person has been with me for 3 months, okay, look, we're here, we were able to do your pull-ups. What's next?
Right.
You know, sky is the limit. We gotta keep challenging yourselves. And
Yes.
I think it's also a matter of, I love my clients. They become my friends. They're part of my family. They know my kids. I know their kids. It's such a, and I think that's why it's so different. We're people person.
Right.
You know, I love hearing my clients, how their lives is going. They bring their kids to sessions. If it's a spring break, they bring their kids. Everybody's at the park. It's very family oriented. Yes. And now it's like, you're there, I'm here. So now it's so different.
You know, and I think it's interesting because I think a lot of trainers forget that you are still offering and selling a service. You're selling yourself.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's quantity versus quality. And I think a lot of those big chain gyms, as we're seeing now, they're starting to fall through, especially during this time. A lot of clients aren't loyal to them. And I don't, not bad mouthing the trainers that work for these companies, but I think it's kind of like, they just look at it as dollar signs coming in. Whereas trainers like yourself, you meet somebody, you actually really want to help that person and you establish a relationship and you build upon that relationship. And then that 1 year of training goes into 2, 3, 4, like I was saying before. Do you take more of a customized approach with each client you work with, would you say?
Sorry, what did you say?
Do you take a more customized approach with each client you work with?
I do.
Okay.
Everybody needs different, needs different. So if I have a class, for example, of like 5, 6 people right now, which I'm now doing all my classes online, which is a completely different territory. I try to, let's say Jamie can do lunges, but Michelle can do squats. I try to cater to what people needs.
Right.
And program the class so everybody doesn't feel left out. And it's not, oh, sorry, you can't do that. Oh, yeah, sorry, you can. Oh, you can't do that either. Oh, just sit down and do nothing. Or you have somebody doing squats all class because that's all they can do. Or you got to think of individuals, and it's called personal training. Exactly. It's one person and everybody's needs are different.
And I think that's where you and I share a common link because we both do group class training, but we keep our classes small so we can still customize those groups for the individuals that are working with us. Yeah. So, you know, group training is obviously more cost effective than private training, but you can still offer a very good service to a smaller group of people.
Absolutely.
Would you agree? You mentioned that you've moved your services to online. I think you were working online before as well, though. But let me know how's that changed now for you as far as training clients online during COVID-19?
It's different because I used to wake up in the morning and I love going to work.
Right.
I love leaving my house, getting in the car for 10 minutes of quiet time.
Sure.
And going to meet my clients. And a lot of my clients were coming to my home because I have a facility. I have a gym at home, and while we go to their houses. Is having that interaction. So it's just switching that mindset that you're still going to get a killer workout and we're still going to be able to talk.
Yes.
Throughout this little video, just like you and I are doing it, right?
Sure. Right.
I can still look at people's forms and, I'm right there with the little microscope. Okay, get lower. Michelle, what are you doing? Get down, give me 5 more. Yeah. I'm still me. You're still getting myself. It's just the mindset of switching things around and how are we going to be able to still provide a great service, a little bit of a lower rate because I have lowered my rates. They're still getting myself. I want to make the services available for everybody because not everybody has the access to income right now. Let's be honest. A lot of people have lost their jobs.
That's right.
I'm very, very conscious of it. Some families have gone from 2 income families to 1 so I really want to make things affordable and available for a lot of people.
Right.
So on top of my online classes, which I'm just finalizing everything online, which is taking me a little bit longer because we were in spring break.
Yes, right.
I also want to continue giving people some free workouts out there that I'm planning accordingly to the days and, using a bike or using, some jugs of water and give people options and tell people that this is temporary. It's just a matter of how we're going to come out of this. Are we going to come out ahead or are we going to come out, way behind that when we first started?
And I think this is why your business is so successful, is because you remain relevant with your clients even during times like this. And like you said, offering discounts, anything you can do to just keep them going and keep them motivated, that's very important. I think because a lot of trainers just say, well, I'll see you when this is all done. And the fact that you're still in contact with people, giving them a break on rates, that's so important because they will come back. Like you said, this is temporary. We don't know how long it's going to go on for. But regardless of whether this is a few weeks or a few months, this will end. And I think it's really,
yes.
Yes, better. But I think it's very important. Are you okay? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we are.
Okay. I think it's really important to continue to stay in contact with your clients. And obviously you're doing that. So I know how COVID-19 has affected you on a business scale, but how about on a personal scale? I mean, you have 2 boys, your husband. Are you guys all quarantined together, or does your husband still have to go into work? How does that work?
So everything hit a little while back. So on March 8th, I had a bad fall and I had a concussion.
Oh, wow.
So I fell doing some toes to bar and hit my head. It was pretty bad concussion. So my husband took a week off because I couldn't really do nothing. So that was 1 week. And then the kids were still going to school until the Thursday, Friday of that week that, things were starting to get a little bit bad and kids being sick and stuff. So we took the decision to pull the kids out of school because, as you know, kids are the carriers. And, we thought that was the best decision for our family. And then the week after that, my husband had a week off. So we were able to, be at home, enjoy the spring break. My husband is still off right now. And he will be going back to work sometime next week. And it's definitely been, it's been tough. It's been tough in the sense that we're all together at all times. We're a family. And if this is going to make us either stronger or if it's going to break us. So far, we're good. And we're very lucky that our kids are little. My oldest is 6 and my youngest just turned 4. That was a hard one. He had his birthday on the 26th, so he had his friends, and so we found ways of celebrating. We still had the piñata. His friends did a little bit of a parade outside and decorated the cars and sang happy birthday from the cars. Tons of phone calls and things like that. So he had a blast.
That's fantastic.
It's my birthday, so we made the best of it.
Right.
For me, I had some really bad days. I have cried. I have been mad. I've had anger, and then I've cried again, and I've yelled. But it's been an adjustment, and now that we know that it's not going to end up anytime soon. It's not going to end up next week.
No.
We're going to be in this for months.
Right.
If we really want to do our part.
Yes.
So it's been a matter of, like, as a family, come up with systems that work for us. I'm all about the schedule, like my schedule, from this to this, I go pick up, I dropped off. So we have created a schedule for the family that everybody gets a little bit of quiet time. We have scheduled TV time. What was it? TV time, my husband and my workouts are they're non-negotiable. That's when my husband and I go into the gym and we have an awesome workout. The kids stay inside, and we've been watching Wildcrats or like National Geographic to learn about penguins, and we do homeschooling. My husband has got great patience. God bless him. I'm very, very lucky. He's definitely the rock of our family, and he has the patience for the kids' schooling. So he's doing the schooling when I'll have like an hour or two with clients and things like that, and then we take the dog for a walk because we have a dog and the dog has to go out. And then we have jiu-jitsu. My kids go to jiu-jitsu. Well, they used to go to jiu-jitsu. So we're continuing with their schedule. When Tuesdays and Thursdays is jiu-jitsu. At school, they were doing Lego time. So on Mondays and Wednesdays, we do Lego. And in the afternoons, we build something. It's not easy. And I'm very lucky that my husband has been off, so he had vacation and stuff, and I work from home. So a lot of my clients, sometimes I put my kids to sleep, and that's how things are going to run, that in the evenings, I'm going to work. So my evenings are going to be busy, and I can be around with my kids.
Well, that's the other thing, too, is that just so people know, you're not going to a gym. You created a gym in your garage. I've seen it. And it's incredible. Like, this is a great gym. Like, you can get a full workout in that gym. Like, you guys are smart. So I'm jealous, actually. I want you to invite me over because, I mean, I don't have anything. And I'm looking at your gym. I'm like, what the hell?
It's, everything is started when we first moved to our house. We had the gym in this little solarium in the winter, and we just made do, and it was a lot of free weights and stuff. And our goal this spring was to take it into the garage and turn we're gonna close it and everything, and do like, what, I know this decision now, so we just really put everything out there, made the best. We got a whole bunch of weights and a lot of equipment that we already had, and you can really get a killer workout. Right now, we're working on getting a rope climb. That's my next thing on my list.
That's very cool. Pilar, as one of the few trainers that's actually still working, if someone wanted to get in contact with you, what would be the best way to do that?
They can send me an email at pilar@pilarfit.com.
Okay.
Or they can give me a phone call. These are the days that we need to hear other people's voices.
I agree.
Other than mommy, 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 mommy.
I agree.
So a phone call, a text message. I would love to hear what people might need. I do have some classes right now. I have nutrition workshops available. They're going to start coming up in April. I'm also going to be offering, if the times on the classes that I have, they don't work with your schedule, because people's schedules are a little bit crazy right now, let me know some options. And I'm sure we can work things out, that we can do a family workout or some friends workouts and get people together to really make the best of everything.
And you do offer online training, correct?
I do, yes. So I do online training, I do online nutrition, I create nutrition programs for the families, I do personal training, one-on-one, now I call it Zoom sessions.
Yes.
On one-on-one, or classes. I'm going to have some, I was just finishing Mondays, I'm going to have some circuit training. Wednesdays going to be power ups. Tuesdays, I think it's going to be butt and legs. Kind of, Fridays is going to be wild cards. So I'm just trying to create things that it's a trial and error. Doesn't mean that all the classes are going to be sold out and full. Things are going to be moving.
Sure.
But we just got to keep busy.
Yeah, and I think everything right now is a trial and error, just to see what works, what doesn't work, feel it out. Will these classes be up on your website?
Yes, now perfect. I'm just finalizing everything.
Okay.
I also post things on social media, Instagram, as well as Facebook. My Facebook page is Pilar Fit Personal Training Inc. Okay. So I try to post everything. I've always been able to post more things on social media than my website. I don't know why. I just have my website because it's legit.
Right, yeah. I think that's the way it's gone, though. I mean, especially with the younger crowd, I actually get more DMs on Instagram than I do from my website. So, I mean, I have more people contacting me from Instagram and Facebook than the website. So I think that's just the way that society is going now. So it's good that you're active on both. And I'll put all your contact information in the description of this video below so people can get in contact with you. I want to thank you so much for coming on, because I know I always say this to people, I say, you're always so busy, but I guess we're not busy right now, but you are. You've got 2 kids and a business, a family to run, so you've probably got a lot of things to do. So thank you for making the time to see me. And
no, it's me out of my family. I'm like, guys, I got to be in a meeting at 1 o'clock.
I'm surprised that no kids have come in yet, actually. I thought there were going to be kids running all over the place.
No, they're really good, and we've had to, like I said, keep them busy, and I've had to involve them into what I do. Right now, there's a video that I posted yesterday. They're cooking and they're helping me do it.
I saw that. Yeah, I liked it.
Because, I give them the rules at the beginning. Okay, don't stick your fingers, don't do things. And my son is just like, okay.
But that's good, though, because these are things we're teaching adults now during COVID-19. So, right? I mean, it's good to learn at young age, because some people obviously did not learn it.
No, so, it's been a lot of teaching moments of like, take a garbage out. Who do you think does during the week?
Yeah.
With the laundry, make your beds. So my kids are making their beds. They're starting to help with the laundry, the vacuum. Little things that you just keep the little brains busy and out of my way.
That's great parenting advice.
I have 2 new employees, and I'm using them, and I don't have to pay them.
You don't have to pay them. Yeah. Don't say that too loud, or we won't let people know about that. Child services over there. Pilar, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
I'm going to probably talk to you very soon again. Actually, I'd like to have you on to discuss some other topics in the near future. So I know your game.
Bring any topic. I'm up for it.
I know you are. Thanks so much, Pilar. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll talk to you again. Bye.
Bye.